Recently at a family dinner, I asked one of my pro climber friends how the elite climbers in America train like. And he said that they didn't really necessarily follow a strict plan, nor do they are very scientific. I'm sure there is some science that their coaches and their trainers are based off of, but the main thing that he gathered is that they are always insanely psyched, and also that they redline almost once or twice a week, to the point where if they touch another hold, their fingers would explode. But over the winter break, because I got hospitalized for a really bad food poisoning case, I figured it would be a good time to pivot to maybe try another training program, and the results are insane. So once I was back in the States, I was mostly board climbing on the home wall, and after a while I decided I wanted to try kilter boarding again to see how I stacked up against my best form, basically. And clearly the program was effective because I was able to retroflash some of the hardest ascents I've done, ascents that took me like a whole session to do in just a matter of minutes. And being able to repeat what I needed to peak for previously all into one just random average kilter session was an eye-opening experience. So after all this time, my hypothesis is off-the-wall training will get you to be stronger physically faster than just board climbing or regular climbing. Scientifically, that makes a lot of sense just because you're isolating a certain muscle group or a certain movement and stimulating that as much as you can with exercises. However, the time that you save is going to be used for you to practice applying all that newfound strength synergistically with your climbing. Whereas board climbing, yes, progression isn't as physically fast. However, everything works holistically with each other and nothing becomes seriously unbalanced. But that's the theory, and I've tried both sides, and clearly both sides are effective at getting you to progress very quickly and very effectively. I think the people who are truly exceptional either fall into the camp of going really deep into off-the-wall training and just being really strong and then climbing a lot to learn how to apply all that strength, or they climb all the time, they climb lots of volume, and because they climb so much, that extra volume makes up for the slower progression they might have had. And obviously, there's also people who perfectly balance the two sides, being able to get as fast as progression as they can with off-the-wall training and then very quickly apply all that new strength on the wall with climbing the boards or with comp-style climbing. The one thing that everyone has in common is how incredibly psyched they are to train and to climb. So I think we could learn from this by seeing what they do and applying it to our own climbing. But that's just a theory, I'm just sharing it with you all. Adam Ondra famously once said in a video, I think it was a Real Rock video or his channel, but to progress as fast as you can, you almost need to be borderlining an injury all the time. And I think that makes a lot of sense, because what is an injury? It's a consequence of you doing something that is not sustainable for the long term. So if you just go right before that, then it's something that you can sustain for a longer amount of time. So I think you can progress as fast as you can by borderlining an injury all the time, because that's the amount of volume and training you can sustain without getting an injury. Climb as hard as you can, don't get injured, climb for a long time.
Mais que nada, sai da minha frente que eu quero passar, pois o samba está animado, o que eu quero é sambar. Este samba que é misto de maracatu, é samba de preto veio, samba de preto tu. Mais que nada, um samba como esse tão legal, você não vai querer que eu chegue no final. sai da minha frente que eu quero passar, pois o samba está animado. O que eu quero é sambar. Este samba que é misto de maracatu, é samba de preto velho, samba de preto tu. Mas que nada, um samba como esse tão legal, você não vai querer.